Despite the Texans' dominant win against the Steelers, CJ Stroud struggled Monday night. Stroud had 5 fumbles, recovered 3 of them. That tied the record for the most fumbles and fumble recoveries in a playoff game in NFL history. Bless you, Jeff Saturday. Is CJ Stroud in the way of the Texans winning a Super Bowl? What do you think?
No, he's not in the way because CJ Stroud's turnovers haven't seemed to affect the Houston Texans in terms of their outcome, right? Like the Texans are 3-0 when CJ Stroud turns it over 3 times or more.
Insanity.
Yeah, the Houston Texans defense this year, the fewest opponent points off of turnovers this season. They've only allowed 29 points off of the giveaways that the Houston Texans offense has had. And conversely, the Texans offense is 4th when it comes to points off of turnovers. So sudden change, when their defense has to make a stop, they get it. Sudden change, when their offense gets a short field, they cash in. That's a formula for success. And the Houston Texans' ability now to be able to run the football with Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, that recent development is why I'm bullish on them. If you got a team that can capitalize on takeaways, if you got an offense that can run the football, and you got a defense that can knock the other team's quarterback down, you're going to have a lot of success in this league, especially in the playoffs when football changes. So, no, C.J. Stroud is not an impediment to the Houston Texans getting to where they want to go.
He is if he continues to play the way he looked last night. That's all. You can't be losing the ball 5 times. You can't have 3 turnovers if you got to go to Foxborough. Right. You got to go to Mile High Stadium. You can't do it. You do that, it's going to cost you. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know this defense is legit. We know that the offense has been suspect. They can't seem to get any chemistry, any continuity, the whole bit. We understand that. But CJ can ball because we've seen him ball, and we know what he can do. He has to do it. If the Houston Texans are going to win the Super Bowl, they're going to get to the Super Bowl, they're going to win the Super Bowl, he has to do that. He can't play the way that he played last night and think that that's going to be able, you're going to hold New England or Denver or somebody to 3 points and 37 yards on 3 different turnovers possessions. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah, and I would say when you're talking about winning, I mean, the question about winning the Super Bowl, I mean, now you put in the NFC and the defense, whether you got to go play the Seahawks, potentially the Rams, 49ers, Chicago, like whatever it is. Like, you can only have so much at that position, so many mistakes at that position before it bites you. And I think where they are now, and I fully agree, like even last night, all the 3 turnovers, they give up 3 points. And on one of the possessions, the Steelers had the ball 7 plays for 4 yards. Like, it's insane how good that defense is. I agree. But it's not like we were writing home about the Steelers' offense to begin with. So if you have teams that can push the ball down the field and make you pay for those things, I thought, to Stephen A's point last night, that was sloppy football. And I know one of them, he's not even looking. I don't know if that's on the center or if there's like some kind of, whatever.
Oh, it was off the snap, was off to the left. Yeah, he's got to corral that.
There are different moments that you just said, that's just sloppy ball. And like in the playoffs, that typically doesn't win. And so I would say to Stephen A's point, if it plays that poorly, I don't think he will play that poorly, but if he had another performance like that, I don't think they get out of the next opponents they play. I don't think they win against the Patriots like that. So I think that you need to play clean football. DeMeco Ryans knows that. Stroud knows that. He just hasn't done last night was a bad day. It's just bottom line.
And you can't have those in the playoffs. It's one and done, and you don't want it to be him.
It's his 3rd year in the league. He's only had 3 those types of games.
I agree.
He's only had 3, so there's once a year that happens.
Yeah, it was just a bad night.
It's a bad
night. So he's got to correct it because they'll play the Pats on Saturday, I believe Sunday, excuse me.
Yeah.
This is different.
You know what you could say? The cold changed your brain because y'all were all Steelers hype, bro. Y'all were all Steelers hype. Something had the oxygen, like all the layers.
Right.
Go with it.
That's right. I will say it was cold when we got off the plane in Pittsburgh, and I liked the cold. And I was like, oh, this is a chilly wind.
It wasn't 30. It wasn't 30. That meteorologist was lying. They were lying.
The cold being in Steel City, it did kind of change my mind about what I thought the Steelers could do last night, and I was wrong because the Steelers have now lost 7 straight playoff games, the longest active streak by any team. They have all come under Mike Tomlin, of course. His 7 straight playoff losses are now tied with Marvin Lewis for the longest losing streak in NFL playoff history. This has led some to believe it is time for Pittsburgh to move on from Tomlin. Aaron Rodgers, though, thinks differently.
This league has changed a lot in my 21 years. When you hear a conversation about the Mike Tomlins of the world, Matt LaFleur's of the world, those are just 2 that kind of I've played for. And when I first got in the league, there wouldn't be conversation about whether those guys were on the hot seat. But the way that the league is covered now, and the way that there's snap decisions, and the validity given to the Twitter experts and all the experts on TV now who make it seem like they know what the hell they're talking about. To me, that's an absolute joke.
All right, well, we're going to try and make it sound like we know what we're talking about here. Rodgers saying that both LaFleur and Tomlin are great coaches and they should stay. Do you agree?
No, I don't. And I will say this about Aaron Rodgers. He's not. He makes some good points. People don't. Aaron Rodgers is a smart brother. He's not stupid. I mean, I know that he rubs people the wrong way with some of the things he said, but this is not a dumb man. This is a highly intelligent dude, okay? And when he speaks, people do need to listen and hear where he's coming from and what he's saying. I'm a member of the media. He's always nice to me. I don't think he was talking about me. Let's get that out the way, right? He's always good to me, right? And I got nothing but love for him because I know he's going to the Hall of Fame. And before Patrick Mahomes came along, I thought he was the greatest passer of the football that I had ever seen. And that was taking Dan Marino and others into consideration. That's how great Aaron Rodgers was. But let me tell you where he's wrong and where he needs to be addressed. For the purposes of First Take, I want to bring this up because I think it's incredibly, incredibly important. Yeah, I might be the face of the show now with this wonderful woman, all right? But let me be very, very clear. I'm nothing without y'all. Football season, I ain't never playing no damn football. You know what I'm saying? Who do I call when I need guests on my radio show? Who do I call? Who do I reach out to when I need some counsel? See, the problem is you got some sorry ass analysts out there that try to act like they know and did what y'all know and what y'all did. I don't do that. You're saying y'all did it, I did it. I did not. I covered it from a journalistic perspective, but that's it. When Aaron Rodgers says that, when you look at a show like this and others, there's a plethora of former NFL players. And so it's like, this ain't, a bunch of reporters sitting at a round table talking about the game like they were in the locker room. You understand? Or out on the football field. No. These are your contemporaries. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm really, really big on that because I like people to see, I want you to see your peeps, the people that wore the uniform just like you did, that went out on that field just like you did, that played at a high level, that competed for Super Bowl championships. They were right there. They know what they're talking about. I know I'm sitting next to two people that know that forgot more football than most people in America know. So when you say something like that, your bitterness comes across. And then we got to look at the stats. Who don't love Mike Tomlin? Right. But here's the reality. You've lost 11 of your last 14 postseason games and 7 straight. We respect the hell out of Matt LaFleur. You lost 5 of your last 6. Right. One quarterback was Aaron Rodgers. The other was Jordan Love. Who's had Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love? I'm talking about the Aaron Rodgers before he went to the New York Jets and before he landed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm talking about the Aaron Rodgers that was winning MVPs. You had him and then Jordan Love, and you lost 5 of your last 6 postseason games. What is somebody supposed to do? When you're talking about a team and an organization and how it may be time for change. He talked about when he came into the league. Well, guess what? Before you came into the league, Jimmy Johnson came on board and immediately fired Tom Landry. Right. Before you came into the league, Don Shula was fired. Right. What are you talking about? Chuck Noll was fired. It took them long because they waited a decade of him struggling before they got rid of him, but it happened. Right. So there's plenty of coaches that have come and have gone. Andy Reid. And we saw this before Aaron Rodgers arrived and since Aaron Rodgers arrived. So respectfully to that bad man who I love, that's just not accurate. It was going on. It did go on before you arrived. It went on once you arrived. It's going on now, and it always will because that's the business. Yeah. Period.
Well, Stephen A., the reality is when you love something, when you love someone, you're usually the last one to admit when that situation has run its course. You're usually the last one to admit when it's over. And that's what I took away from Aaron Rodgers' comments and trying to defend Mike Tomlin and trying to defend the Pittsburgh Steelers from this season. It's over. It's over for his NFL career, and it feels like it's over for Mike Tomlin from the standpoint of competing for championships with the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. Now, for Aaron Rodgers, I appreciate you trying to defend Coach Tomlin because I think he gets a lot of heat.